A Black Friday quiz, which is better? One, paying $3.49 for a 1 month all access, or two, paying $244.30 for 1 month all access. The day after Thanksgiving, we want to continue giving thanks by giving all of our customers 30% off anything priced at $149 or more. A Black Friday sale was always a once a year chance to buy something at big discount, and this is it. Even better, we are running this promotion Black Friday through the end of Cyber Monday and making coupon code THANKS30 have unlimited uses. Whether it's a single sport package, a 30-day all access, a full season of college hoops, or a full 12 months from your favorite handicapper, you will save 30% with coupon THANKS30. You can fill your goodie bag as many times as you want until the clock strikes midnight on Monday.
Happy Friday, guys. Welcome in right here to WagerTalk TV. This is Puck Time. We had a day off yesterday. I hope you guys all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. But it is a massive, massive slate in the NHL. We have 4 games we're going to break down today. We have best bets at the end and some promos to discuss. But how about that Thanks 30 promo, Carmine? Thanks 30, 30% off anything over $149 is an outstanding promo to use. So check that out over at wagertalk.com for either Carmine, myself, or any other handicapper at the website. Today's games we are going to discuss. We have the Rangers, Bruins, Hurricanes, Flyers, Panthers, Capitals, and the Avalanche and the Stars. Carm, you continue to stay hot in soccer. I was messaging you for your plays yesterday in soccer. You hit a 5% play on the Bills in football. I know I'm not talking about hockey, but there was no hockey yesterday. So it was still a winning day for you. So I want to say how are things, but I feel like they're pretty good, man.
Yeah, and I was pretty happy about that NFL one. I released that on $9 Mondays, and I released it at obviously at the point spread that it was at the time, -4, and did put some parameters on it that it was good up to a touchdown, and that line went that line on the Bills just flew up to like I think 6.5 by game time. Some places it was 7. But I think it was a no sweat win, and soccer continues to be hot, so I'm pretty happy about that. NHL, a 2-2 day. The other day, not yesterday, there was no game, so 15-5 run there. So I'm pretty happy about that. And this deal with that Wager Talk has is a fantastic one. So I would tell you guys after you're finished trampling people on Black Friday today, get back home and take advantage of that deal. Sports Memo has one as well too. Thanks 40 there. You get 40% off any package. And Don Buster has a 5% NHL play tonight that you can get with that coupon. So use coupon thanks 40 and you can get 40% off of Buster's plays. But speaking of hot, you didn't mention it, so I will, Andrew. 12-0 NHL run for you, surpassing my 11-0. You had to do it. Just continue onward and upward. Do you have plays going today or what? What's going on?
Well, Carm, it was funny because, and first of all, I appreciate it. But that other night on Wednesday, I wanted to just go with just the one play. I really did. I had the Start Tuesday play that transitioned into Wednesday, and I was going to just stick with that one play. And then we saw Edmonton in a bounce back spot over the Arizona Coyotes, and I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist it. I took the Oilers in regulation. They got it done, so bumped it to a 2-0 night to turn the run into 12-0. So it's back to just one best bet for tonight, unless something similar happens that happened on Wednesday where I find something else I want to jump in on. We are riding this red hot streak. Low volume has been working for me, and I'll continue to roll with that. So, yeah, guys, 12-0. Definitely one of my hottest NHL runs I've been on in a long time. So check it out over at WagerTalk, and make sure you use that promo code for some great long-term packages as well. But how about this game here, Carmine? Boston -165 at home here. Rangers are +140. To me, this is a game that's just mispriced. Analytical numbers do state that the Bruins are playing some good hockey as of late. Expected goal 5-on-5 past several games. They have been playing some really good hockey. But the funny thing is both these teams are recently off wins against some, Buffalo subpar team, your favorite team, but a subpar team, if anything, a team that most people should beat. But I was looking over this card yesterday, and I was wondering to myself, why are we getting the Rangers at plus 140? And I look at what the Rangers have been able to do lately, and it's beat all the teams they should beat. But I look at the Boston Bruins, and if you look at their entire schedule so far this year, and on the season, Carm, none of those wins impressed me enough to tell me they should be minus 165 today here on this NHL slate. They have beaten the teams they should beat. They have one win against Florida that was impressive, but it was at home. It was a rapid revenge spot after losing to them a couple of days prior to that. They've defeated Ottawa, New Jersey, Montreal, teams that they should be beating, not to mention Buffalo a couple times, like I just said. If anything, this game should be a lot closer in the price. If Shesterkin is between the pipes, I like the Rangers quite a bit. And I'm on the dog, barking dog tonight for me. Rangers on the road. Unless they're feeling too good about themselves after that win against the Islanders, I'm backing them here, plus 140.
No, listen, I get it. I think, in all honesty, I think the line is right. I think if you make the Bruins any lower than where they are right now, if you made them 125, 130, even 135, you invite so much Bruins action that it's probably bad for the books. A price like this literally will balance the number. Listen, the Rangers, I think, are live in this game here. After that terrible road trip, where it ended in like a 6-0 loss to the Calgary Flames. They've been great since then. 6-1. Their only loss to the 2-1 in Toronto at Scotiabank to the Leafs, and they've been money on the road. They were money on the road last year. They're a good road team. 7-3-2 road record thus far. The only problem is they get an equally hot Bruins team who are like 7-3 their last 10, 6-2 at home. It's Swayman for sure for the Bruins. I'm hoping it's Shesterkin in net for the Rangers tonight, because if it is, I'm leaning to the Rangers right now. I'm leaning to the Rangers based on the fact that they're playing well, they're a good road team, and the fact that if it's Shesterkin in net tonight, I want him. If it's any other goalie in net for the Rangers tonight, I'm just going to pass completely on the game. But I do believe at this price of plus 140, 145, it's worth a shot with a very good Rangers team that's winning games. So if it was a team coming in, with 4-4 their last 8, a good team even at 4-4 their last 8, I'd probably just either pass on the game or see if the Bruins line came down a bit. I don't like playing those minus 160, 70s, 180s, but at plus 140, 145 with the Rangers, the way they're playing on the road thus far this season. Listen, they got blown out their first game of the season on the road, 5-1 to Washington. They've been good since, other than that Calgary game, which was the end of the road trip and a bad one. But they've responded. 6-1 their last 7. They're playing well. Give me the Rangers tonight if it's Igor in net tonight.
Let's do it, Carm. Both Carmine and myself, we're liking the Rangers at a great underdog price there, and I'm right there with Carm. I'll make it clear. I want to back this Rangers team with Igor Shesterkin in net and not Georgiev. Nothing against him, but he is not of the caliber as Shesterkin. So great to see that we're on the same side in that game, Carm. We'll keep this train going here. Let's look at the Carolina Hurricanes and the Philadelphia Flyers. The Flyers are plus 130 at home. Carolina minus 150 on the road. And this is a price that I feel is rightfully so. Total is 5.5 here. And one thing to mention, talk about road trips, talk about scheduling, talk about situational spots here. We saw Carolina, go to Anaheim, LA, San Jose, Seattle. They've now dropped 2 straight games against Seattle and San Jose. Now you play a Philadelphia team that hasn't really fared well recently either, Carm. This is a team that I was super down on as well. And a lot of people in the live chat or on Twitter were giving me a hard time about Philadelphia. They're playing some pretty good hockey. They're a team I don't like going against at home, Carm. But if I'm playing this game, it's Carolina in regulation for me. I think it's a good bounce back spot for them after 2 losses. And I think they'll be a little bit rested here in this game and ready to go.
Yeah, listen, I can't blame you. This is the end of the road trip for the Canes, that 5-game road trip that started off very well. Wins over Vegas, Anaheim, and LA Kings. And then, you look at the last 2 and you're like, well, they lost to San Jose and they lost to Seattle Kraken. 2-1 games in which they held most of the play. The game against San Jose goes to overtime, and Don Buster will tell you, when these games go to overtime, they are absolute coin flips. I think he's lost like 14 or 15 games. I've lost like 4 or 5 games this year in overtime. It happens. And the game against Seattle, they outplayed Seattle. It's a 2-1 game. They outshot them, I think, 36-22 or something like that. But they lost the game 2-1. Those aren't bad defeats. They're close defeats. It's when you lose those 4-0 or 5-1 games that are troubling. They come back and play a Flyers team that are averaging, 1.6 goals per game. Their last 10. This team isn't scoring goals. 3 might be enough for Carolina tonight, the way the Flyers are playing. It's like I said, the end of it. It's a back-to-back, but they're a pretty good back-to-back team last year. The Canes. I don't mind laying the 145, 150, whatever it is here in this game. Flyers did beat them in Carolina 2-1 earlier this season, and it's likely going to be the same goalies tonight, Frederik Andersen and Carter Hart. I'll look for the Canes to end their road trip with their win tonight. So I'll take the Canes. I don't need regulation. I'll take them full game here. The -145, -150 is good enough for me.
I wanted to ask you, Carm, about the situation about the end of the road trip, because I always say that end of road trip can be a flat spot for a team and can be sloppy, but usually I say that if the road trip's been good. Would you agree that it's more of a bet on spot because they haven't had the best road trip, or they had 2 quick games that they dropped, versus if they won those 2 games, maybe we'd be staying away here? That's just me. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't worry about the last game of a road trip with a solid team. It's just because if there were some troubling signs, like where the last 2 games before they head home, and they've gone from the West Coast to the East Coast for this last game of this 6-game trip. If the other ones were bad losses, I might look at this as I just want to pass on this game completely. But they weren't. Again, there were 2-1 losses, and one in OT and one where they outplayed the Kraken. Those shots on goal were 36-22 in that game. A power play goal, and then one of those CNI shots that wins the game in the last 3-4 minutes for the Kraken. Kudos to the Kraken for winning their last 2 at home. That'll probably end tonight anyways, and we'll talk about that in the show best bet. But for me, I'm not troubled by this Canes one. They're a solid team last year off a couple losses. I expect them to close off this trip with a win.
All right, let's keep moving along here. Panthers and Capitals, obviously a marquee game on the night here. Washington, short favorites at home. They're -115. Total sits at 6 in this game. Viewership standpoint, should be a huge game. I'd say this game, and of course the Rangers-Bruins game, going to be the most talked about in the States, at least for tonight. Carm, what are your thoughts here? Big matchup.
Yeah, it is a big matchup. The weird thing is, when looking at, let's say, European football, I'll always say when you're looking at a total, when it's 2 very good teams that can score goals and 2 upper echelon teams, you automatically think it's an over, and it's not. You get 2 very good teams because they're good defensively. This is a different sport and a different look on it. 2 very good teams that can score goals. You look at Florida, 6-3-1 their last 10 to the over. So I think 6-4 for the Capitals at home, but 3 straight overs where they're scoring goals. Look at some of these goals: 6-3, 5-2. I think I got that wrong. 6-3, 6-1, 5-3. They're scoring goals. When a team starts to score goals, you just got to start looking at the overs, because there's not going to be a lot of unders in there, especially if it's a team who eventually do go over the total. You look at, I think these teams played in Florida earlier this season, and it was a 5-4. Was it a 5-4 game? A 5-4 game in OT. So I know one game doesn't determine what's going to happen in the next, but I just see a Florida team that comes off a successful 4-game homestand where they won all 4 games. They hit the road for 1 game against Washington and then return home for 4 more at home in another homestand. You would just want to keep that good mojo working, and I expect them. I expect some goals tonight. I think 6 is the right number here, and I can't fault you for going over the total. I would fault you for going under the total, because there's no signs regardless of whether it goes under or not. There's no signs pointing to an under here. So the only play can be the over here. And I'm not going to take a side because these are two very good teams.
Right there with you, Carmen. And you look at that game that Washington's off of, it's against my Montreal Canadiens. And one thing you can say about this Capitals team is that they never really, I'd say, have a flat spot against a team playing poorly, just like Montreal. But the flat spot usually comes in the third period. And we kind of saw that where Montreal got a few goals late in the game. And that's one thing about this Capitals team is that when they get involved in these kind of pond hockey games, I've been using that expression quite a bit, but the higher scoring games with lack of defense, it kind of seems like, like to your point, it's like first to 4 goals wins, first to 4 or 5 wins this game. I am going to go ahead here with the short dog, though, on the Florida Panthers. I look at what they've done recently after that 4-game losing streak they did have, and I expected a run from them, and they have had a good run against some teams that were good and some teams that were just, good bet on spots, like the New York Islanders spot that they had, which was great for them. They won that one 6-1, but I like how Florida has won games in both low-scoring fashion and high-scoring fashion. And I feel like Washington right now, coming off that win against Montreal, beating some lesser quality opponents recently, might get caught off guard here. So we'll see what happens. But Washington's another team that's tough to go against when they're at home. But Florida, I trust them and their depth to get things done for me. Their goaltending has been pretty good as well lately. But again, their quality opponents they've played haven't been top quality as of late, really. But I expect Florida to get the job done right there with Carmine on the over. But I like Florida on the money line here. Carm, it's obviously a big weekend. Talking about NHL out the gate, talked about the success you've had in football and soccer. Just wanted to ask you what's going on for you completely at the website for this weekend. Any games you're looking forward to watching or betting and cashing with your clients?
A couple of notes. First off, don't forget there's a lot of early games today, starting with that first one we talked about, the Rangers and Boston. Obviously, it is there's probably, I think, 3 or 4 early games today, so don't miss out on those ones in case you thought they were all 7 o'clock puck drops. As far as this weekend, yeah, it's my NFL stuff will be up after the show, and it's going to be a busy NHL weekend for me as well as soccer. No game in specific. There's 3 or 4 that I'm keying in on, and there might be an NHL 5 this weekend, but it's going to depend on some of the games today. So we'll wait and see on those ones. But that deal over at WagerTalk, the 3-day all access, the 7-day all access, anything, as you said, over the 169 price range, you get 40% off. I might have that wrong, but the 40% off is a great deal. Even on the 30-day all access, we're pretty much, that'll run you through the end of the year. That's a great deal, especially with any capper who does multiple sports. You'll get a lot of daily action on that, Andrew.
Yeah, we've promoted a lot of daily specials, 3 days and 7 days on this show. But to your point, that 1 month is great, and you can use that the Thanks 40 special promo code. And again, that's only applicable for packages over $149. But it obviously is an outstanding discount and great percentage off that price you were paying when you check out. Also, I want to mention this. You can check out both Carmine and I on Twitter, also our Puck Time WT Twitter account. Carmine and I are both very active. Our DMs are both open. We try and respond and talk to people if need be, whether it's just about hockey, soccer, UFC, NFL, whatever it might be, and any package inquiries you guys do have from us. But I'm looking forward to this weekend's CFL playoffs. Carmine, I'm going to see you in a few weeks when I'm going to the Grey Cup. Looking forward to the CFL playoffs. They kick off this weekend. Some really great games. The CFL is a league where you never really know what's going to happen, and playoffs are always a lot of fun. So I have one total I really, really do like, and I encourage you guys check it out over at WagerTalk.com this weekend. But other than that, we're trying to keep this NHL streak alive, Carm. One last game to discuss here, and it's the Avalanche and the Dallas Stars. Stars plus 110 at home, minus 130 on the road here for the Colorado Avalanche, and totals at 5.5. And I just got to say, This Dallas team is scoring, man. This Dallas team and the Avalanche right now are both big first period over teams as well, which I never really thought I'd be saying that with the Dallas Stars. But does that continue tonight, Carm, with scoring here for both these teams?
It could very well. You look at this line, and your first thoughts are, how are the Colorado Avalanche only like minus 120, 125? But I get it. Listen, 6 straight wins, 36 goals scored in those games, 8-1-1 their last 10. If you're looking for a negative, it's not much. They're 4-3 on the road thus far this season. Again, not much. But you got a Stars team that, listen, they're winners of 4 of their last 5. They're better than any of the teams that Colorado faced on this 6-game win streak trip, where they played Vancouver twice, San Jose, the Seattle Kraken, Ottawa Senators, and Anaheim. And I get it. You can only beat who they put in front of you. But now they hit the road and they play a Dallas team that's playing some very good hockey. Like I said, winners of 4 of their last 5. And they're 5-2-1 at home this year, including 4 straight wins and some quality opponents. Their last 2 wins are against Edmonton and St. Louis. And they kept the Oilers to a goal. They kept St. Louis, who can score goals, to a goal. They're playing well. This is why, even at this price right now, I kind of wish that people overreacted and made the Avs a higher favorite on the road, because I like the plus 110, plus 115. So I'm going to take the home dog here. I'm stepping in front of a streak, but I did it with the LA Kings when they went to Winnipeg, and I'm going to do it here with the Dallas Stars hosting Colorado. I'm going to step in front of this streak, and I'm going to take the Dallas Stars plus 110, plus 115 tonight, whatever the best price you can get is.
Good stuff, Carm. I like it. Home dog in the Dallas Stars here. I'm just going to keep riding the fact that I think both these teams will continue to score, Carm. That's where I'm going to go. 5.5 total here. Last 3 games for the Colorado Avalanche, we saw 7, 7, and 5 as far as goals for them. Back-to-back games, we saw the Dallas Stars score 4 goals and against quality teams, just like Carmine mentioned. So I do like the over. Like over 5.5 for me in this game. We got Carm looking at the dog here at home in the Dallas Stars. So that'll wrap things up for our 4 games here, Carm. But I believe we are not done as far as breaking down some games. And I'm going to hand the mic over to you to do your rapid fire for some Saturday action.
All right, we are going to do the 6 and 60. Off to a good start with the first 2. So let's try and get another winning 6 and 60. Dallas, Arizona under 5.5. Zona 5-1, their last 6 to the under. Blues and Jackets. I'm going to go under 6 in this game. The Blues 6-3-1 run to the under. So I like the under 6 here as opposed to the 5.5. Edmonton and Vegas over 6. Vegas 6-2-2 their last 10. Oilers 10-3 and 10-4-1 last 15, 5-3 in their only game this year. That was in Vegas. Seattle and Florida. Florida minus 115 in regulation time. This Florida team is rolling. They'll knock off the franchise team. Ottawa and the LA Kings. Kings minus 1.5 plus 120. Ottawa 0-2, 13 goals allowed since coming back from that COVID break. And finally, Winnipeg and Calgary. I'm going to take a live dog with the Jets. Jets plus 140. They were a good team in the second of a back-to-back, going 6-2 last year. Let's take them at plus 140 to upset the Flames. There's the buzzer.
With a few seconds to spare. You got the buzzer this time, but you covered it, Carm. Great job, man. And I'm with you on a lot of those picks. So if you want to find out which of those picks or what Carmine's favorite picks are for Saturday, check him out over at WagerTalk.com. But a great little sneak preview of some stuff he does like for the Saturday card. Carm, I'll give you a second to check, just catch your breath there. I'll start things off with best bets. I'm going with a game that starts at 1 p.m. Eastern time. I'm really happy you mentioned it about the early starts. I did kind of forget about that. The Boston Bruins and the New York Rangers go head-to-head. It's at TD Garden. Should be an absolute great crowd, but I'm going with the underdog here. I cannot pass up this price on the New York Rangers at plus 140. I need this Boston Bruins team to tell me they can play a good defensive performance, a good defensive game against a quality opponent like the Rangers. They've done it against Buffalo. They've done it against Montreal. Let's see if they can do it against a team like New York with plenty of talent all over the ice. Capo Caco's getting going. Chris Kreider's having an outstanding year. And if Shesterkin is in net, I really, really like this price here. Plus 140 for the New York Rangers. Guys, 12-0 run for me in the NHL. Going to try and keep that alive tonight with a best bet up in the NHL. I just want to say again, hope you guys all had a great day yesterday with all your family and loved ones. And we'll see you guys on Monday. But I'm going to throw it to Carmine for his best bet. And again, I always say this, but don't be afraid to grab some 3-day passes or 7-day passes. Both Carmine and I are involved in so many sports, and you don't want to just get 1 or 2 plays. And I'm sure Carmine would agree with me on that.
Yeah, definitely. I have a couple of NHL plays. I might add a third one a little later on this afternoon, and a couple of afternoon soccer games. And that's just to kick off the first of the 3 days. I'll have full cards, everything from college football, NFL, and of course NHL. And soccer. So it's that 3-day gets you a lot of action. And best of luck on hitting the baker's dozen tonight, Andrew, and going 13-0. Of course, Buster, 5% play. Use thanks 40 at Sports Memo, get 40% off. My best bet on the show, guys, is going to be the Tampa Bay game tonight. I'm not taking the full line here. I'm going to take Tampa Bay in regulation. That line is minus 125. Stanley Cup champions against the Seattle Kraken. First meeting between these two. Seattle 1-7 so far on the road this season. Yeah, they've got 2 wins at home. It's not going to be 3 in a row for them, and I don't see them getting their second win in a row in Tampa. Give me the Lightning in regulation time, minus 125 here.
Love that play. Lightning in regulation. Once again, just like Carmine mentioned, don't forget to check out Don Buster's 5% play over at Sports Memo. We'll recap these plays. Obviously, just 2 of them. Lightning in regulation for Carmine. I have the New York Rangers at plus 140. On behalf of Carm, I'm Andrew. Everybody here at WagerTalk, have a great weekend, guys, and we'll see you on Monday.
A Black Friday quiz, which is better? 1, paying $349 for a 1-month all access, or 2, paying $244.30 for 1 month all access. The day after Thanksgiving, we want to continue giving thanks by giving all of our customers 30% off anything priced at $149 or more. A Black Friday sale was always a once-a-year chance to buy something at big discount, and this is it. Even better, we are running this promotion Black Friday through the end of Cyber Monday and making coupon code THANKS30 have unlimited uses. Whether it's a single sport package, a 30-day all access, a full season of college hoops, or a full 12 months from your favorite handicapper, you will save 30% with coupon THANKS30. You can fill your goodie bag as many times as you want until the clock strikes midnight on Monday.